What's going on, everybody? Mike here. Today I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you about putting paracord ties or lanyards on your Swiss Army knives. Now, I myself do like to have a lanyard on my Swiss Army knife. Helps me kind of get a hold of it sometimes, and I just kind of like the way they look, to be honest with you. Now, I like to put a lanyard on them that's comparable to the size of the Swiss Army knife itself. Today we're going to be putting a lanyard on this Recruit here. So we're going to move these out of the way. And the first thing we're going to need is about 2 foot of whatever color paracord you would like to put on your Swiss Army knife. In this case, I'm going to put a dark maroon. I also have about 8 inches of the silver that I'm going to use to make the sliding barrel. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece of paracord and run it through. Then I'm going to take this piece of paracord, run it over the top, and bring it back behind, leaving a loop there. Then I'm going to bring this piece of paracord behind and go through here. And then I'm going to just work these two tight so that the knot gets smaller and I get it down here towards the keyring. Then I'm just going to take the strings and work them tight so that the knot begins to form. There's our first knot. And then we're going to do the same thing over the top and back under, and bring this one under and through the hole. And then working our strings tight, using our thumb to kind of push that up and kind of twist it into where we want it, and then pulling each string individually until it's tight. I like to get them nice and tight in there. There's our second one. And we're just going to repeat again. Now, normally I put about 6 knots. Since this one's a little bit smaller than the regular ones, I'm going to put 5 knots. So I'm just going through here kind of quickly, so that way we don't make this video too long. And our last knot here real quick. Make sure we get it good and tight there. And our next step is going to be to tie the knot on the end. Now what I like to do is just kind of lay it next to it and get about where I'm going to want that knot to sit. I'm just going to tie a regular knot in it. And before I make that knot too tight, I'm going to bring it down, check it against the side of that. It's about where I want it. It's about how I want it to look. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling that knot good and tight. Once I get that knot good and tight, I'm going to just go ahead and trim off the excess. I just like to get the scissors as close to that knot as I can without cutting it. And then just cut them both. Then I'm going to take my lighter. I'm just going to start burning that down. I'm not trying to catch it on fire, just trying to melt it some. And I'm going to take my lighter and kind of use it to make that flush there. Then our next step after that is going to be to take our 8-inch piece of string and make the barrel. So you just put this piece here like this, and then you're going to make 3 runs around. There's 1, 2, and 3. So we got it like that. Kind of have that piece coming out like that. Then we're going to bring this up and through and just slide it under each one. And once we have them slid there, we're just going to, from each side, start working that knot tight until the barrel gets a little tension on the other 3. And while you're working it tight, you want to make sure it stays together. You want to make sure that you're getting the middle one tight as well as the outside too. Just like that. And then we're going to check and make sure it slides well. It does. And I pull this piece down like that. I get my scissors in place here. And I'll kind of get them down there like that. Hold the knife, obviously. And cut. Once I have it cut, I keep this piece pulled back like this. Just real quick, burn that end. Trying not to burn the red piece or the top of the barrel. And then again, using my lighter to kind of smooth it out and tuck it in there. And I'm going to slide it down. I'm going to put the next one in. So getting it nice and tight there. Cut that off. Burning it down. And then you just want to make sure it slides well. And then I like to make sure it looks pretty good. So I'm going to kind of roll it around a little bit to where my edges are on the bottom, so that when I set it down, it looks nice. Well, that's how I put a paracord lanyard on a Swiss Army knife. Thanks for watching.